analyzing poetry is an important skill we'll work on throughout this module. But what is an analysis? Well, to analyze something is to break it down into its various parts, to then examine those parts, and create an interpretation or understanding based upon the parts and the examination. Simple, right? Poetry is the essence of ideas expressed in a particular way by the author. Poetry may rhyme and have rhythm, but some poetry has no rhyme at all. A poem may be organized into stanzas, which are essentially separate ideas arranged similar to paragraphs. A poem may have specific patterns of rhymes and patterns of rhythm. Poetry is a specific means of conveying a feeling, event, or observation. Poetry is carefully constructed text that has layers of meaning, like a cake or an onion. When analyzing a poem, it's best to look for the foundation of the text. First, look for diction, which is really just a fancy way to say the style a writer chooses by her word choice. At times, you may choose words that are informal, possibly slang, when talking or writing with friends or your squad. If you're writing a letter to the editor of the New York Times and you want to show that you think an idea is beneath you or contemptible, you would probably choose more formal words that have that distinction and indicate your tone. Diction is word choice, and the choice of words sets the tone of a piece of writing. So, diction sets the tone of a piece of writing. Let's take a look at this example. Notice how you move from snow in example A to snow falling horizontally in example B. The third example is straightforward with the word blizzard, though it does make me want to go to Dairy Queen right now. Example D is filled with alliteration, words that start with the same sound that are close together. The human brain likes or reacts to alliteration in a positive way. That's a fun fact. Take a look at this example. Look at the various ways Jay felt toward Kaylee. Don't you want to know what she did? Look at the different words that give you different levels of anger. In fact, one source even lists 75 words that are synonyms for angry. Now, when we look at literary terms in poetry, first we need to review some vocab. So we have literal and figurative meanings. A literal means exact, not exaggerated. Literal language is language that means exactly what is said. Most of the time, we use literal language. Figurative language is almost the opposite of literal language. Figurative language is language that means more than what it says on the surface. It's often used by poets and other writers. Let's take a look at two more: denotation and connotation. Denotation is the plain or literal definition of a word or phrase. The connotation can be the emotional reaction to a word, the cultural implication, or the shades of meaning that evolve over time. Let's practice some decoding skills that help with analysis. You'll be using your writer's notebook. I want you to close your eyes. Let your mind create a visual image of the sentence I say. He bellowed. Picture as many details as you can. I understand it's only 2 words, but just work with me. Open your eyes and write down your visual image or description. What did he look like? Describe him. You can pause the screencast while you do this. Then come back. Okay, let's try another. Close your eyes and see the sentence, he shrieked. Open your eyes and write down the details of he shrieked. Pause the screencast. Come back here when you're done. Did your image match these in any way? Bellows is a verb that means to shout, yell, or roar. The word also suggests that the noise is coming from someone who is large or possibly overweight. That extra suggestion isn't in the dictionary. Our society creates it. The connotation of bellows hints that the noise has a heaviness to it. For the second one, shrieked means to yell or shout. However, the word shrieked also connotes weakness or a sense of frailness. So notice, their denotations are the same, but the connotations are very different. Let's take a look at this. What associations do you have to the word house? How is a home different? Look at the denotation and connotation of each sentence in the chart. Which is more positive? Which is a more comfortable place to live? See how the meaning shifts and makes home more of a positive connotation? What would you say about the house? What would the denotation be? The connotation involves the associations with the words and the subtle shades of meaning that give readers hints on how to interpret the text. Because really all an author has are words. Write out your responses to these in your writer's notebook. Pause the screencast and come back when you're done. This is an opportunity for you to try to detect the deeper meaning embodied by the words used. You'll go open the document, practice with diction, connotation, and denotation. For the first two, examine each sentence. Look at the verbs grinned and smirked. Tell what the literal meaning is. Then, what are the associations, the connotation? Love pierced his heart. Love punctured her heart. Tell what the difference is in the meaning. Which one is more positive? Why? For the next two, what's the difference in meaning based on the word choice, the diction? Their love blazed. Their love burned. Write out what each means, then think of the difference each holds with regard to the associations. You can stop the screencast while you do this. After your classmates have entered their examinations of these sentences, look them over and see how your interpretations worked.